Hi, this is Trang from RunAwayRice.com. Today we're making flan. Flan is a delicious baked custard dessert with a layer of soft caramel on top. It's made of eggs, milk, and sugar. Served chilled, it has a silky, smooth texture. To make flan, it's a two-step process. We're going to start by making the caramel sauce first, and then next we'll make the custard. Now let's get started. The process to make the caramel doesn't take more than 5 minutes. So first we're going to start by taking 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and we're going to add it to our pan and just give it a quick stir. Okay, now I can see that it's starting to liquefy, so I know I'm getting really close. Now what you want to do is be very careful when you're cooking this because it can turn a very dark color very quickly, and the darker the caramel color, the more bitter the flavor. The other thing to keep in mind is that once you've reached your desired caramel color, it's going to continue cooking. So you want to remove the caramel sauce from the heat very quickly. A few more seconds and it should be good to go. This is the part where I have to work rather quickly. Making sure that I coat the bottom of the ramekin generously with the caramel sauce. Now for the custard. We're going to start by whisking 5 eggs. Now you don't want to overbeat the eggs, but give them a good whisk so that they're nicely blended. Over in this bowl, I have 3 cups of 2% milk. To the milk, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm also going to whisk this until the sugar is dissolved, and this will just take a few seconds. Now I'm going to fold the whisked eggs into the milk. Okay, let's give that a good stir. Make sure everything's nicely incorporated. Now over here I have a sieve on top of a very big measuring cup. And what I'm going to do now is strain the mixture. By straining the mixture, this removes the larger parts of the egg that we don't want in our flan. And straining the mixture will give our flan a nice, smooth, silky texture. And now we're ready to pour the mixture into the ramekin cups. Now that we've filled the ramekin cups, we're ready to load them into the baking dish and pop them in the oven. Since I have 8 ramekins, I'm going to put them into 2 9-inch baking dishes. I'm going to start by putting just 2 of the ramekin cups into the baking dish. And what I have here is just regular tap water at room temperature. You don't need to heat this. And I'm going to fill the baking dish about 1/3 of the way with the water. I've had my oven preheated to 325 degrees. We're going to pop these into the oven and we're going to bake them for 50 minutes. Okay, off they go. We're going to check back in 50 minutes. The flan has been baking in the oven for 50 minutes and now we're going to check for doneness. Simply take a toothpick and insert it into the center of the flan. The toothpick should come out completely clean, indicating the flan is perfectly baked. Now we're going to allow it to cool in the water bath for 2 to 3 hours and then we're going to refrigerate it. Now that the flan has cooled, we're going to remove them from the water bath. And we're going to refrigerate these for about 4 hours. The flan has been cooling in the refrigerator and now it's time for the great reveal. So to serve up the flan, what we'll do is take a knife and run it along the edge of the ramekin. Just like that. Okay. And then we'll take a small plate, we'll flip it over, and then we'll invert the flan onto the plate. And let's just give it a quick little jiggle. Voila! Now that is perfect. I also like to garnish it with a little bit of mint. There we go. How scrumptious is that?
Thanks for watching.
If you have any questions, please post your comments below and I'll respond to them. I'm working on new recipes every week, so please subscribe to my channel to get the latest and greatest.